Yo, what's going on guys? It's your boy Cusick and welcome to the channel. Now, as some of you may know, your boy got access to a early access of the PGR PC client. This means I get first hands on the client itself to see if there's any bugs or issues, but most of all, I get to test it, try it out so I can record it for you guys so that you guys know what to expect when you're going into the game after you get done downloading the PC client. So here is the client. This is what we see. Now, if you are a mobile player, you're probably going to get used to this UI screen pretty much right here. Now, for me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this UI. I feel like the UI is very congested. A lot is going on here. Like, I've been playing this game for, I'd say, a total of about maybe a week or two. Not hardcore, but kind of like on and off, right? And I still don't know what some of these things are. Now, it could be because maybe I'm a level 33 and those things have not been explained to me yet, but I have a hard time knowing what the hell is going on half the time. But it's okay, because that's not what we're here for. We're not here to review the UI. We're here to talk about the PC client. Let's move on to the settings and let's see what's going on over there. So we have a pretty generic settings right here. We have our typical sound settings where we can control our background music right here, our effect sounds, our voice volume, just like that. Obviously, we have the option to mute when running in the background. So if we do decide to close up our game, we could obviously keep the game running without it continuously making noise, which is really helpful. We have our UI settings, we have our graphic settings, and this is the one thing that is very, very different than the mobile versions and the emulator versions. And as I go through it, I'll continue to explain for you guys. But one of the things that stands out the most is the options that you have for resolution. You have a lot of options. The only options I don't see is ultra wide options. I'm not seeing the I don't know if it's 2560 by 3440, 3560, whatever. Basically, the ultra wide options aren't there, as well as a 4K resolution option. I'm only seeing 2K, which is this here. Is this 2560 by 1440p. That's the only thing I'm seeing. I can apply that, but okay, so it doesn't change here on the recording. I do get worried that whenever I change resolutions, it's gonna have like this dramatic difference. But I'm happy for this video. Everything looks pretty much still put together. Still looks pretty for you guys. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I playing in windowed and not full screen? I don't know if this is a weird bug, what's going on within the settings itself, but for some reason, I can't run this game on full screen. It says there's something with my monitor. I do have an ultra wide monitor, but I don't particularly see how that would stop me from playing in full screen. I've tried unchecking the window, so maybe this is an issue that you may go through if you also play on an ultra wide, or maybe it could happen to pretty much anybody who's wanting to play in full screen. You might be stuck while in windowed mode, so keep that in mind. But that's okay. Little hiccups happen, right? Especially when you have early access, right? So there is no promises of anything, but I do hope this is something that does get fixed when it's fully released. But right now, we'll stick to 2560 by 1440 since it looks the best here on this screen right here. So what we're gonna go do now is we're gonna scroll on down, and now we can, as we can see, we actually see a lot of the settings, right? So for me, I'm gonna bump everything up for you guys. So we're gonna set everything to ultra, just like this. Now here we go. Here's one of the biggest things. So we have, let's just go over this real quick. Our graphics are going to be set to ultra, resolution to ultra, shadows ultra, self VFX ultra, and don't worry, we're going to be checking these things out in game as well. Other VFX, we're also going to set to the ultra, reflections ultra. Now here's the biggest thing. Now when you're on emulator or you were on mobile devices, the only options that you have was 30 frames per second to 60 frames per second. But now, because we have a PC client, we're able not to go only from 60, 30, 60, but we can also go in between the two at a 45 if you prefer. But now we can go to 90 frames per second to 120 frames per second. That is actually amazing, especially for these players who want more frames for those perfect parries, perfect dodges. Super important. Now you have that high refresh rate, so your timings are going to be completely spot on. Now everyone can get good at this game, right? But we're also going to set our bloom on high, distortion on high, HDR will be on, and we're going to turn on. This is a one that I don't believe was previously in the mobile version, but we have FXAA. I believe that's going to help a lot with anti-aliasing. I believe. I could be wrong. Don't hold me to it. Keep the gun away from my head. I'm sorry. Okay. And I play with VSync off. I don't remember what it does. And obviously, if you notice, it doesn't tell you what none of these things do when you hover over them. So that's also something to keep into account. But we'll go ahead and say that there. We'll keep all these settings on high, ultra settings, and in 2K resolution, so we can see the best picture possible. And I'll make sure when I upload this video I put in the same res as well, so you can check it out in that edition as well. But we also do have our movements. We can actually customize our keybinds. Now, I've heard previously that on the last test that this was not available for you to change. You had to stick to what was given to you pretty much, and that was it. You just kind of had to deal with it. But as you can see, it's pretty special interactions, you know, looks to be pretty nothing too crazy going on here. Except we have our dodges, mouse attack, dodge being mouse 2. We have the options obviously to use our keyboard as well. If we don't want to use our mouse, that's also perfectly fine. Rapid fire attack, signature move, LR switch. So I'll try to remember these whenever we decide to go ahead and play. But for right now, it's gonna be like a blur. Obviously, customize these as you play, as you go about, so you don't get confused. You don't have to play it the way I play it, but I think you already know that, right? So let's not hesitate. As you can see, this looks amazing. Like, so far, this looks really great. For me, at least on my screen, the bloom, the quality, and the fabrics as well look very nice. If you have really fancy skins, you're gonna really enjoy seeing your characters assets look particularly great, I would say. But yeah, let's not falter, let's not wait. I want to get into some type of mission that we can take a look at and really get a good feel for the game's quality. So wow, that looks really nice. So spacebar, 4 3 2 1. We're gonna stall a little bit. I'm not like in a rush. I really want to just see the quality. Now our zoom ins and zoom outs don't work. We can't use our mouse wheel for that. But wow, everything looks really great so far. Really great. I guess let's try to attack maybe. I'm like in windowed mode, so I'm having a bit of a hard time. It looks like they don't want you to play with your. So I noticed my left click isn't exactly working. Okay, and we won. That was very it's kind of hard to explain. Let me wrap my thoughts around that. I can't say I was a big fan of how that felt. It felt like I was playing mobile on a port that just gives me the options to play at a higher quality, and I'm not a big fan of that. Let me see if maybe I can make some changes to that for mobile users or what have you. So this is our camera mode, and oh, that's so much better. Yes, this is what I wanted. Oh my gosh, that's so much better. Yes. Oh, that perfect dodge. Holy shit, I'm so crazy. Oh my god, I'm crazy. Someone stop me. To keep in mind when you first start playing the game, okay guys, when you first start playing, you need to change the camera, like do the camera switch. You can do that by hitting Y on your keyboard. It'll switch it so that you're not on your basic mobile version where you need to drag the camera down as if you were obviously if you were playing on, for example, the emulator version, you would have to do that as well. And obviously the mobile version, you also have to, with your thumb, you would move the camera. But on the PC client, you can now hit Y and it'll change it to where your mouse just automatically controls the camera, and it'll change your attack to your left click and your dodge to your right click. The only thing I'd say you need to change and consider changing is your alt. Your alt is keybind to left, or not left, to L. I would maybe try to move that to something maybe a little bit closer. Maybe use a shortcut on your mouse. If you have any buttons on your mouse that could act as some shortcuts, that would be preferred. The game itself, in terms of like its UI, I think could be so much better. I think it could feel a whole lot better and not be so confuffled, for example, but it's something you can definitely get used to. It's not something that is a deal breaker, right? But if you are someone who hasn't been playing PGR and you want to get into PGR and maybe stream it, this is a really great time to do so now that the PC client is coming out very, very soon. Jump on it, try it out, see what you think about it. But so far, I've been loving the game. It's been amazing for me, and as you can see from the gameplay, it's also really great if you want to stream it, record it, or even play it for yourself. It has amazing quality, and compared to the emulator and compared to mobile devices, this is top notch right here, and everything does look of high quality. Well, that was everything for today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and I hope you can't wait to see more PGR gameplay. If you want to see me actually play the game and go through the game, then make sure you comment down below. Let me know what you think about the video. Hit like, subscribe, and thank you so much guys for tuning in. You have a good one. Peace out.